A hiker was staying at a cabin in a national park when he saw something that truly terrified him. Among the trees, just outside the cabin, there was an incredibly tall, human-like creature covered in fur. The man was shocked, but he was still able to take a photo of it. Luckily for the man, the creature in the picture disappeared into the woods not long after. The creature seemed to be about 8 feet tall, and it did match the description of the Murfreesboro Mud Monster, a mysterious large beast that haunted the woods of Illinois in the 1970s. In 1973, a young couple, Randy Neam and Judy Johnson, were in a car in Riverside Park in the rural town of Murfreesboro, Illinois. They were listening to the radio when all of a sudden they heard a piercing sound, or more accurately, a roar. According to Randy's description, the roar sounded like an eagle shrieking into a microphone. Can't imagine what it was like for the young couple to hear such a strange sound. They must have been terrified. Anyway, the sound was coming from the bushes, not far from the car. This prompted Randy to turn off the radio. He was carefully listening, and soon enough, another shriek echoed through the night. Only this time, the loud shriek was followed by a rattling of the wood just in front of them. That's when they saw it. A gigantic smelly creature was heading towards them. They were in shock. They've only seen such creatures in horror movies, but this was very much real. What started as a romantic getaway quickly turned out into the stuff of nightmares. Luckily, Randy managed to start a car and he drove as fast as he could, far from that place, far from that thing. They drove in piercing silence for a while, but then they decided to report the encounter to the police. They filed a report in which they described the beast. They estimated it to be over 8 feet tall, covered in matted mud-streaked white hair, and it was walking on 2 legs. The officers were skeptical, which was understandable, but they still sent out a patrol to investigate. What they found at the scene shocked them. One of the officers, Jimmy Nash, found strange tracks in the mud about 10 inches long and 3 inches wide. And when he leaned over to closely inspect these tracks, he heard a loud screech. He was so shocked that he dropped his revolver in panic. Officers described this shriek as the most incredible one they had ever heard. It was coming from the bushes, and it didn't belong to an owl, or a bobcat for that matter. It was something else. Anyway, the officers got back to the station and formed a search party. The hunt was on. They again heard the sounds, but other than that, nothing. No sign of this mysterious creature. That was until the following night. A 5-year-old boy was playing in his backyard, relatively close to the river, when he saw something that deeply disturbed him. There was a giant white figure standing behind the fence. The boy ran back home straight to his dad and said, "Daddy, Daddy, there is a big ghost in our backyard." The boy's father was suspicious of the story at first, until his neighbors confirmed it. But again, no sign of the creature. Another couple also had a strange encounter with the beast. They heard something in the woods and went to investigate. After spending some time searching for it, they finally saw it, an 8-foot-tall monstrosity covered in filthy white fur staring back at them. Luckily, the creature just turned around and walked off to the woods. Judging by this description, it was the same creature from earlier. Only this couple added that the creature had red glowing eyes, and that it stood more erect than an ape. And yes, they also said that the creature had the worst smell ever. After returning home, they called the police, who quickly arrived at the scene, and this time with a police dog, a German shepherd named Rab. Not long after, they discovered a trail of black slime that led directly to the river. The dog was able to pick up the scent of the creature, and it led them to an abandoned barn. But as soon as they arrived at the barn, the dog began trembling and yelping with fear. One of the officers tried to get the dog to open the door, but the dog just dropped to his belly and scampered backwards, whimpering. The dog knew that the creature was in there and was terrified because of it. Anyway, they called for backup, but by the time backup arrived, whatever was in the barn had already escaped through the back door. The creature remained one big mystery and was dubbed Murfreesboro Mud Monster. What do you think about this photo? Could it be possible that what these hikers saw was indeed Murfreesboro Monster? Let us know in the comments and subscribe to Today on Camera for more. See you next time. Bye.